Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen right now. If you are going to do a bit of business in 2022, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your post-match analysis video for yesterday's final home game of the season, a 3-0 win against already relegated Peterborough. Pretty much a full house at the Den. It was almost a perfect day. People not impressed with the first 45, but once again, if we're shit, I'll say we're shit. If we're good, then I'll defend the manager. As always, let's start out by taking a look at the 11 that he did pick to start the match. Okay, so Daniel Ballard injured. We wondered if he was going to go free at the back or if he was going to go flat back four and really go for it, because yes, mathematically we can still make the playoffs. Sorry, I'm saying that because as I'm saying that, I'm picturing my best mate saying to me, stop it, just fucking stop saying it. It's not going to happen. But stranger things have happened. We'll get onto that later. So on that basis, people were saying, you know, he might as well go for it. He might as well go gung-ho. And we might as well go for some serious amount of goals and go 4 at the back. I didn't think he'd do that. I said I thought he'd bring Leonard back into the side and put him in the back three, which he did do. And he brought Billy Mitchell back in, and rightly so, in place of Michael Clifton-Beld. And Billy Mitchell again was closing the space really, really well. He just seems like he's the central cog to that team that keeps it ticking over. And someone commented in the comments, and it's a fair comment, he said to me, oh, you didn't like Woods when he was doing that? Well, no, because Ryan Woods did that about 30 yards further back than Billy Mitchell did. He was doing it in and around Bulkowski's 6-yard box and the 3 centre-backs. Billy Mitchell does it a lot further up the pitch. At any area in the pitch, he can do that and link the play. And also, Ryan Woods is about as fast as me and has little T-Rex arms. So, fuck Woods. Billy Mitchell's a million times better, and he was rightly back in the starting 11 yesterday. The other one I said in my preview show I wasn't sure of is, would Mason Bennett come back in for Ollie Burke? Burke done nothing wrong, but as we know, Mason Bennett brought to the club by Gary Rowett, previously worked with him at Derby, so he's obviously more in favour. He's a Gary Rowett player, isn't he? But, you know, Burke kept his place and rightly showing. Again, it just shows the strength in depth that we have got now. We've got pretty much everyone fit. That right at the end of the game, we took Bradshaw off and we still had a Phobe, Jed, Mason Bennett and Burke on the pitch, and then Tyler Bury coming on. Ojo not even getting on. So you do wonder, you know, people say this game and that was the one that ruined it for us, but I don't have all that, because other teams can say that. You know, other teams can say, well, if we hadn't conceded in this minute on that game. For me, one of the biggest things is if we'd have had everyone fit. Forget the results we did get, and you know, this goal and that goal we may have conceded at whatever minute in what game is the one that put the spanner in the works. If we'd have had everyone fit that was brought into the club or was already at the club, especially attacking wise, then who knows? Who knows? But listen, it's not over just yet. As we say, I'm going to defend the manager again here. I'm going to say, you know, when we're shit, we're 17 games without a win, where fucking can't score any goals, and we're boring as fuck, that's when I'll go for a manager. Now, we are where we are, he's getting the best out of the players, and he's doing a good job, he can't say he isn't, that's when I'll back him. I've changed my mind because we're now good and we used to be shit. If I was doing it the other way around, that would be stupid and controversial. But I'm going to defend him. He's done the right thing there by playing 3 at the back. Leonard was a bit rusty, but I like the way he travelled. You know, he was pushing quite forward, which is obviously that's naturally going to happen because he is actually a midfielder. But if he goes 4 at the back, look, it works with 3 at the back. It never used to work with 3 at the back. Another reason I kept saying play 4 at the back at home. It now works. We're now very dangerous going forward. I think only Fulham, or maybe not even Fulham, have got more points at home than us this season. The Denny's back to being a fortress. That's why now, you know, I'm happy with Gary out in charge. What happens in the summer? That's another video for another day. I'm not sure he'll be in next year. But not our choice, probably his. But he's not yet signed that contract. It's been on the table for a very, very long time. And managerial departures everywhere. Warbutton's leaving QPR. Mowbray's leaving Blackburn. So I've just got a sneaky suspicion that he might leave the club. But getting back to me praising him, you know, it was the right decision to go 3 at the back. We've had so much joy in this second half of the season with playing 3 at the back. Why change the formation and go all out? Because it might not work. And I'm going to defend him again and say, people saying the first half was shit. And, you know, Richard Cowley, my old mate Rich, tweeted on, and he wasn't slagging us off, he's a fucking journalist. He said we hadn't had a shot in 43 minutes. So I can see it from that point, but you ain't going to win a game 10-0 in this division. No one is, not even Fulham. So to change the formation and to change what was working. Last week at Birmingham, he took Billy Mitchell out after about 30 straight starts of him and Saville centre mid, and he fucked it. he tried to fix what hadn't been broken, he fucked it. But yesterday, don't go for it at the back. We know we got goals in us at home. We know the three at the back's been working at home. And we know that in the second half, when we shoot towards the Cold Blow Lane, I definitely need a different box next season because I'm fucking right by the away fans, that we're going to have joy. First half, Peterborough, nothing to play for. It can always work both ways. And I thought that they weren't too bad. They kept persisting with this shitty short corner, which wasn't working for them. They had a couple of chances, half chances. The little slot through the middle, which their guy Clark Harris sort of flicks wide centrally. Good pressure from Bar, but he should have done better. But I felt, again, coming forward, we look good. Good patterns of play. Good balls wide. Good balls in the box. Even the strikers running in. You know, that one I remember over by where I was, where I think it's Burke on a few occasions whipped him in. Burke whips it in. Afobe just can't get there. He's just trapped by a defender. So I don't know whether the crosses were too early or the runs were too late, but we was creating chances and having those patterns of play without actually threatening their goalkeeper down the other end. They really troubled Bart. But listen, something I've learned to be more patient under Gary Wright. We're going at half time. We come out the second half, and I don't know whether he says at the start of a game, right, you know, listen, let's suss them out, let's see what happens, let's get to half time, and then we go for it in the second half. Or I don't know whether he's watching the first half, picking up pointers of how we can improve and how we can break him down, and then relaying that at half time. He'd like to think it's that way round. If it is, then it's fucking fantastic management and you can't argue with it. But we always come out second half, we always come out fighting, and we did exactly that. And the opening goal, Benik, there's been two I've been undecided on all season, Benik and Ollie Burke as well. I'm hearing Burke loves the club and would love to stay, which is good. So if we can get him, I'd sign him. I'd also sign Ballard. And Benik, absolutely 100%. He's come under criticism throughout the season, but unfortunately, Benik, from me as well, that's what you're going to get at our club. And I always say this, I feel that if we're on the players and we're on the manager, it's a good thing. And that's the basis of our club. That's the foundation. We demand the best. We demand the most effort. And if people ain't pulling their weight, then we fucking let them know. You wouldn't get away with it at other clubs. Do you know what I mean? You know, you could do what you wanted. And you won't feel that intensity from the crowd. I think it brings the best out in the players and now the manager. So Afobe, you know, his touch, people debate. His work rate, I've never debated. I don't understand, you know, the lack of work rate that people say he has. But he has now scored 13 goals this season. And make no mistake, I love Bradshaw, I love Afobe. You'd say, one for the comments maybe, not in the same bracket as Morrison and Gregory. But would you say that? Because let's remember, as much as Morrison and Gregory are club legends and fantastic for us, and I love them both, they did it in League One. They didn't really do it in the Championship, did they? Morrison, okay, was ageing at that point, but Afobe 13 goals and I think Bradshaw 10 or 11. That's a 24/25 goal partnership in the Championship. We've not had that for many, many years. Many, many years. So you've got to look at the level that we're playing at as well. You've also got to look, and I always say this, if Afobe scored every chance he had, then he wouldn't be playing for Millwall anyway. You know, he was at Stoke, went abroad, you know, had a really tough time of things personally. This is his first time back in England. So to embrace the club like he has and score the goals that he has, all right, he misses one or two here or there, but yesterday, a clinical finish, and I'll try and sign him from Stoke in the summer if we could. He's got a year to run his contract still there, I'm hearing, which is a shame. But, you know, if you're a Stoke fan, I mean, look, people say some people don't want Afobe, some people do. I think the majority now leaning towards we do. But what must Stoke fans be thinking? Finish well below us in the division, and they've loaned us their striker, and we're in the shout of the playoffs with a week to go. It's fucking nuts. So, ball into the box, Saville heads it down. I was right behind it in real time, so I saw what he did. He sort of rolled his foot over the ball with the right, and then fired it right in the gap where I was sitting behind where I was commentating, into the corner, fired it across the keeper on his weak foot. I watched the highlights backstage. I had to watch it a couple of times. It sort of looks like you may have thought what I thought, but I didn't because obviously I saw it in real time. I'm babbling. It looks like he thrashes at it with his right foot. He doesn't. It's really good composure. He sort of gets his foot up at a funny angle, brings it over around the defender and fires it across the keeper, and that's it. We're on our way. After that, we're bombarding them. We're all guns blazing. We're piling forward. Jed Wallace comes on. I didn't think you'd see him again in the Millwall shirt. Listen, I begrudge him nothing. He's been a fantastic servant for us. 5 years. Again, at times I've been on him because I know he's better than the rest of them, so I demand more from him. And we've had some magical memories for him, and he's going to lead the club on a free transfer. I'll be amazed if he doesn't. And all the best to him. You know, he's given everything he's got every time he's played for the club. I saw the goal, the QPR one this morning. Someone posted it on Twitter. He clearly loves the club and he's given everything for it. And he's had some unwarranted shit this season at points about he don't want to play and all this. He's played there yesterday. He's come on. I'm not sure if he wasn't fully fit or he wasn't fully going all in. And I know that sounds stupid because he played well, and I know he wouldn't not get stuck in. I've just said that. I will be contradicting myself. But I don't know, maybe he wasn't fully fit, but crazily, he was still involved in the goals, wasn't he? Clipping in beautiful crosses. He sort of kept getting out his feet and just clipping it straight away. He wasn't going on them mad, runs trying to take on 100 players at once. He wasn't doing that sort of thing yesterday. But he comes off the bench. Say Bennett comes on as well, and we've got Burke and Afobe already up there. We sort of went 4-2-4 at that point, and we was really going for the jugular. We get the second goal. It's wide from Danny Mack. It goes in from Jed, and I said at the time, I thought it was Ollie Burke. It was Jake Cooper up there again, as he was at Birmingham last week, ready to tap it in, but the Peterborough defender does it for him, and it's 2-0, and then Cooper's in the net, scooping the ball, then running back. Come on, let's have one last push. But we was unlucky. People saying we should have scored more goals. We've hit the bar, Murray Wallace. I think we hit the post, George Saville. And then George Saville does get the third. You can't score them all. You can't win games 10-0. You can't dominate teams for 90 minutes. So, again, I think I moan at the right times. And I think a lot of you moan at the wrong times. The first half is what it is. We've got our stall set out home. We know how we like to set up. We know what happens in the second half. And it went absolutely to plan. And Gary Rowett's alluded to Nottingham Forest on the last day of last season when they only had to not lose by 3 goals to make the playoffs, and they did. I'll get onto the playoffs in a minute, skipping ahead slightly. Third goal, corner again, Jed hangs it out beautifully, and George Saville went at the back post again. I was right behind it. Was I on the pitch? Right behind 2 goals. I think I was on the pitch, didn't I? But listen, Saville, that's the George Saville, regardless of his goal, that's the fucking George Saville I remember and love. He was fucking brilliant yesterday. And him and Mitchell, again, another thing with Mitchell is, brings the best out in Saville, allows him to go and do his thing. And it was a great third goal from Savs. A packed in, I think 17,000 something hundred. More or slightly less subscribers than Lions TV has got on that basis. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. There you go. You could fill the den with my subscribers. That ain't bad, is it? But there you go. We want to get higher. We want to get 25k. 3-0. Game's over. Listen, people run on the pitch. I see Rotherham do a pitch invasion yesterday. I see fucking Wigan do a pitch invasion yesterday. And it isn't people like me, or it might be some of you, kids. Just, look, you should let the little kids on. They want a shirt and all that game. Let them run on the pitch. It's going to happen. Everyone must have seen on social media the stewards holding their hands out, doing their bit. But they're not going to try and rugby tackling people. That's just going to incite more crowd violence. Shout out to the guy who got on the pitch and started trying to fuck everyone off it, doing his best Steve Morrison impression from Wembley. But listen, we've got some plums that follow us. That's a fact, unfortunately. People fucking knee sliding and fucking hanging off the crossbar, and you've got all the little 15-year-olds for their shirts off, giving it to the fucking Peterborough fans. Pointless, but there you go. Happens at every football club, and it was mainly just to give the players the recognition they deserve. Great to see the players come back out and do the lap of honour. Got a few thumbs up from the players as well, so thanks for watching, boys. Subscribe if you haven't as well. And look, my mate keeps saying I'm mad. It isn't done. Right? Because as long as it's mathematically possible, and what a fucking great feeling this is, to go in to the last game with the potential possibility that we could still make it. I watched Bournemouth yesterday. They were fucking brilliant against Blackburn. Put 3 really good goals past them, which in turn knocked Blackburn out of the running. But it's not over. Look, we need Middlesbrough to slip up. Sheffield United are in, okay? The one we can catch, which I never fucking noticed, was Luton. Now, Luton are a good side. I've got a lot of respect for Luton. I really like what they've done this season under Nathan Jones. He left the club, went to Stoke, came back. That's very difficult for a manager to come and do that at the second time of asking. But they've not just had a good run. They're a fucking good side. They can score goals. They've got great togetherness. They've got great shape. They're good coming forward. They're strong at the back. And no disrespect to them, right? But the reason we can catch them, if you don't know, we're currently -5 behind them on goal difference, okay? Now, we need them to ship a lot of goals. We can't catch Sheffield United because Sheffield United are still 9 ahead of us. But they've only got 1 game left. Luton are above Sheffield United on goal difference. I'm going to show you the league table now just to try and help you out a little bit because I'm going boss-eyed thinking about it. So Luton have got that game in hand, but it's not, it's not cursed. But Luton, if they lose heavily on Monday, they will go below Sheffield United and we'll get closer to them. Now, the only reason I'm saying that could potentially happen is if you could pick one team in the division you would want them to face, On Monday, it would be they're not be champions yet, but they're going to be league champions, already promoted Fulham at Craven Cottage. I mean, surely Fulham are capable of doing them 3-0. Again, no disrespect to Luton, they're more than capable of getting a result. But 2 or 3-0, 3-0, let's say 3 for argument's sake. I've had this conversation already, David, mate. 3-0 for argument's sake. clutching. Then that puts us 2 goals behind Luton. We go and beat Bournemouth 1-0. They go and lose to Reading 1-0, which is unlikely on the last day of the season. So is our victory at Bournemouth. Then we could make the playoffs if Middlesbrough also lose. It probably won't happen. But what a fucking lovely feeling to be going in to the game, going down to Bournemouth next weekend with the possibility of that happening. The only slight thing is, Nottingham Forest have done so well lately, they absolutely spanked Swansea yesterday, I think 5-1. Steve Cooper against his whole club. Is that, you know, if they had have lost yesterday, Forest, then Bournemouth would have been up. But now, Forest have got to play Bournemouth in the week, which will be good for us in a way because tired legs and that for Bournemouth. But if Forest beat Bournemouth, they could potentially still nick second place. So what we wanted was Bournemouth to come into our game with nothing to play for. But they've got to be on their toes still. They still need to get the victory. And it's going to be a massive ask. But stranger things are fucking happening in football. And I'm covering the whole league. And I'm looking ahead to next Saturday. I need to stick with what we're here for. And that is the post-match analysis. Yeah, but it's done anyway. 3-0 yesterday. We couldn't ask for any more. We should have scored more. We hit the post and the bar. We should have scored in the first half. We know how it works. Get to half-time, go for it in the second half. You can't stick 10 up front. You can't win 10-0. And you can't dominate teams for 90 minutes. So, fair play to the team again. Fair play to the manager. See? I'm praising him. Do you know why I'm praising him? Because we're fucking doing well. I'm not praising him when we're 16 games without a win. 17 games, 3-0 down at Middlesbrough. I always say that. After 25 minutes. If things are going bad, I'm not happy. If things are going good, I'm happy. Some of you have fucking got it round the wrong way. Honestly. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. That is your post-match analysis done. I was considering a stream tomorrow for the Fulham game. I promised you one against QPR and Sheffield United and I didn't do it. I still might, I don't know. I'll let you know. Keep your eye on our social media pages. Bosh. There you go. There's our Instagram as well. We're heading towards 10,000 followers on that. And if I don't see you for a live stream tomorrow, I will be back for a preview show on Thursday for the final game away at Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium. Can't think what it's called then. But there you go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.